Human rights, health, culture, and justice is the focus here in COP30 in Belém. And you'll be wondering what a lot of people are talking about human rights as it affects community from climate change. You would want to know what the COP is talking about, issues around culture and building resilience for community people. And today we will be speaking with different people here in the streets of COP30. Come with me as we hear their views on these different issues. Let's go.
Looking at the issues that you are discussing, human rights, justice, as far as climate, that is the reason I'm here, because the people, the local people, are affected by these climate change, these climate negotiations, and we do not only want to be in the concept notes. We want fair representation cutting across in terms of gender, in terms of demographic, in terms of location, in terms of no matter where people come from. So this is why we are here, and we are saying that let there be fairness, let there be equity. We are countries who are producing the least emission, and we are here for development. We are here to say give us our own portion when it comes to loss and damage. So we are here asking for proportional and fairness when it comes to the issue of climate negotiation. And of course, we are under the African group of negotiators because we were from Liberia. When you talk about education, when you talk about getting the people ready, when you talk about building resilience, because for me, I work with indigenous people, and now in the process of building resilience, sometimes indigenous people have to move. Sometimes indigenous people have to change their livelihood, even moving from in their areas to urban areas. They have loss of culture, they have loss of family life, loss of common practices. So as we build resilience, we also have to help our people to develop. When you talk about adaptation, it has to come with development. It has to come with investment in climate and the local people.
Climate change is impacting on the health of people, on the lives of people, on the well-being of people. The heat, the flooding, the extreme weather events, when they come, though might get off the news headlines, but the lives of people touched may never be the same again. Victims of various flooding incidents, victims of heat, farmers whose crops have failed, people's health being affected. These are realities of climate change. So climate change is not just about fancy negotiation at COP centers. Climate change is not about big offices and big grammar. Climate change is about everyday existence of human beings, and we need to have that at the back of our mind during every negotiation. It is about people, their well-being, their culture, and their environment.
I think we've seen that climate change has so many different impacts on our health and well-being at all parts of the energy cycle, and in so many ways. You have things like fossil fuel extraction, which are incredibly damaging to human health. Poisonous toxins as part of the petroleum and gas and coal cycles, all the way through transportation and burning of those fossil fuels, to the rising climate impacts that are causing hotter days, that are causing sea levels to rise and taking away people's lives and livelihood, the mental health and well-being toll of the climate crisis, not only the things that it takes away from people, the costs that are imposed on society, but also this, frankly, the idea that you come to these climate talks every year and sometimes promises are made, but basically people are saying, no, we don't want to fix this problem, and they're not acting as urgently as we know is needed. And so I think that gaslighting has a really damaging effect on people as they're living their daily lives. I think the good thing is that we've really shown that we can change that. There are many ways to improve people's health and well-being through gathering together as community, through taking actions that are environmentally sustainable, through living lives that are in better alignment with climate justice. And as we continue to push for the true climate solutions that we know that we need, for real finance from the global north, for an end to fossil fuel extraction and use, for support from the rich countries to help phase out fossil fuels everywhere, we know these are things that lead to drastically better life outcomes. They lead to better health and well-being. They lead to people being able to put food in their mouths and feed their families, to living healthy and thriving lives. And so I think there's so much possibility there if we commit to true climate action, and that's one of the things that I'm really excited about in terms of culture, education, shifting the way that people think about this to think about the hope of a better future and how important that is as part of this climate fight.
Everywhere in the world, justice is universal. And I'm happy that the world is beginning to see the essence of climate action and climate justice, especially for environments which people have paid the price, the ugly price for damage and then pollution. So for a people to live peacefully in society, the element of justice must become part of an integral part. And for the world asking for justice, then there has to be real action towards climate justice and reparation. Climate action must not just be rhetorics that people gather every year and not doing something about it, especially for the people of the Niger Delta. It is overdue. And the call for climate justice is now, so that the people whose lands have fueled economies of nations of the world, and then the people have paid with their lives, and their lifespans are practically predictable to be below 50 is unacceptable. And the call for climate justice is now, and especially for Nigeria and the Niger Delta, there's a call for an environmental audit on the lives of the people whose lives are practically living around the Niger Delta, whose environment is practically inhabitable. The water, both the air, everywhere within the Niger Delta is polluted. And funny enough, Nigeria, being an unserious person, has no study conducted on the impact, the health impact of the environmental damage in the Niger Delta.
Dressing in Benue is simple, is to the weather, and women are very decent in our dressing in Benue State. We make sure we don't wear things that expose ourselves to so much, so that we can maintain our dignity and, conform with the family values and so on.
So thank you very much. You've heard from the people here in COP30 how culture builds resilience and help to improve human rights as well as protect them from issues of climate and environmental justice. We will continue to speak with people here on the streets of COP30 in Belém, and we do hope that you found this episode interesting. Until we come your way again tomorrow, I remain your host, Kome Odomo. Thank you.